Okay, here's a quick introduction to the IntelliFlow VS pump. This is a variable speed. That's what the VS stands for. Looks mostly like any other pump, except that, of course, all the controls are on the back. Now, you may be accustomed to having some sort of timing device that goes into a box like that one, and there's a little clock in there that you set with little pins to turn on or off at whatever time of day. That is gone. We no longer need that. The pump is wired up to be on all the time, technically, and instead we have this device which we can use to program the start and stop times for various speeds. Now, there are 8 preset speeds. We have access to 4 of them right here. The other 4 are what we call virtual speeds. They would be in the programming. We can get to that later, but right now I just want to cover the first 4 speeds. So what we want to do is we want to set it up to run as long as possible. As the longer it runs, obviously you want to run it at a very slow speed to get the most energy efficiency out of the device. So right now it's running at 1155 RPM. That happens to be speed 1 on this particular pump because that's the way this pump has been set up. And as you can see, here's a start-stop button with a little light lit. That little light indicates that the pump is in fact running. So what we're going to do is we're going to push that button. Now we've dropped to 0 RPM because, of course, I've now stopped the pump from running. So anytime the pump is off and you want it to come on, if you push that start button, it will start up. Now right now it's going to start and go into a priming mode. That's why it got so loud, because we're going all the way up to 3,250 RPMs right now, just until it primes up. It'll do that for whatever amount of time it's set for. I think this one might be set for about 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something. Well, a little less than that. And then it drops down to the speed that it is pre-programmed at, which is speed 1 right now. If it's running at 1 speed and you'd like it to run at a different speed, let's say I want it to be on speed 3 instead of 1, if you turn it off, now sometimes if it's on already, if it's already running, you can push another speed and it'll just go to that speed. This is a newer model pump and it does not always do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop, and we're going to push speed 3, and then we're going to push start again. And now, as you can see, the light is lit over 3. We're going to do that priming thing for a few seconds. And then it's going to drop back to whatever the speed that speed 3 is set at. Bear in mind, each of these speeds individually can be set wherever you want them within certain parameters. This one just happens to be speed 3 is 2,350 RPMs. So again, it's running at a low speed, 1155. I want it, let's say I'm going to go for a swim and I'd like the water to move around a little bit while I'm in the pool. I can stop the pump, push the speed that I want, and see that already tells me it's going to go up to 2350. Then I push start, and up it goes. Now it will stay at that speed until another speed is programmed. Alright? So you really don't have to turn it off. It will correct itself. It'll correct itself back to the regular programming when that time comes around. Worst case scenario, a day. But usually, depending on the programming, less than that. So what we're going to do here now is I'm going to stop it, because it has to be stopped. We're going to talk about programming the times, start and stop times. So now there's a menu button. Now the biggest problem here is knowing whether to use enter or select. I got to tell you, I often push the wrong button. Fortunately, if you push the wrong button, it just tells you key error, and you start it and you try it again. Then you push the other one. So what we're going to do is we're going to push menu. Okay, so now in the menu I can use the arrows up and down. See, right now I've got settings, speeds 1 through 8. That's the one we're going to be using. External controls, you don't have to worry about the rest of the stuff. Features, priming, antifreeze, back to settings again. So all we're really concerned about right now is programming. So we're going to be at just under settings. There's speeds 1 through 8. Now bear in mind, you have to. It's not like where the pump turns on and off as programmed at certain times. What you're really worrying about is speeds turn on and off. So you have individual speeds that come on and off as you program them. We're going to start with speed number 1. Okay, speeds 1 through 8. Oops. There's that key error I was telling you about. Speeds 1 through 8, select speed 1. Let's select that one. Okay, so now I'm into speed 1. This thing's asking me, we're on schedule. Okay. Oops, see, did it again. We can run it in schedule, egg timer, manual. We're going to leave it on the schedule. Okay. Okay, take 2. Had a little technical difficulty there. This is a kind of a low-budget gig. So, okay, so we're at speed 1. And at this point, it starts in on the schedule, and you can change whether you want it to run on a schedule or if you want it to run in an egg timer mode or manually or back to the schedule again. So that's what we want. We want the schedule. But now, okay, so we're at the schedule. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the arrows, down, up, and down. This is the speed. I can adjust the speed if I want at that point. But we're just going to talk about the timing. So this is the start time. The next arrow down is start time. I can have a key error. I can select the start time. Now this is 12:10. Well, let's make it so I can go up and down with the arrows to change the time. And if I go left or go to the left, I can go to the next digit over. Next digit over. Now I can change that 12, 11 p.m. Let's see where we're changing that up and down. Okay. Okay. So that's the start time, 12:10. Now when this one stops at 12:09 a.m. because this is the lowest speed, I've got this running at 24 hours a day. But again, you set the stop time the same way. You select, you can move the digits using the left or right arrows, and then once you're highlighted over whatever digit you want, you can make those go up or down using the up and down arrows. And then you do the same thing, then you can hit escape to get back until you get to there. The menu gets you to here. If you leave this like it is for after a few minutes, it'll just revert to wherever it was. But right now we're going to put it back on. I'm going to give it speed 2. It's going to be 1500 RPMs, and I'm going to push start, and back up she goes. That's just sort of an introduction there. Obviously it's just a quick covering of just a few of the features that this thing will actually do. The important thing to know is if you want it to turn off, if this light is on and it's running and you want it to turn off, you push that button and it will go off. If this light is not on and you want it to be on, you select a speed and then push the button and it will start at that speed after it primes up for a moment. That's the main thing you need to know. All right?